Hey there, welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about the red pill and what it leaves out. So just to be clear, I am a fan of a lot of work that's been done in the red pill community. I think it gives you a very clear perspective on the differences, the innate primal differences between men and women, masculinity and femininity. But there's a very large part of psychology that it cannot account for. For one, the red pill is loosely based in behavioral psychology, which is really only one school of thought in psychology and is by no means the end all be all of how the human mind and human perception works. The problem with behavioral psychology is that we are more than our mere behaviors. And I know the red pill guys teach, watch, believe what she does, not what she says. And I do agree with that. But two people can display the same exact behavior, but it can come from different psychological roots. And one of those roots may say this is something that can be dealt with, and the other is rooted in a way that if you were to tolerate that in the context of a relationship, you would really be, committing the error that the red pill guys warn you against, which is to make her problem your problem, right? Which is not what you want to do. You don't want any other person's problems to automatically become your problems, especially when you're just getting to know someone. But that's why it's important to know about the root of someone's behavior, like deeply what's going on in the mind, psychologically, unconsciously, what are the motivations and the intentions behind someone behaving in a certain way. So that's really the drawback of behavioral psychology in general, not that red pill philosophy sticks to behavioral psychology in a one-to-one sort of way, but it is loosely based on that, and that is one of its claims to legitimacy, is that it's based in behavioral psychology. Well, it kind of is, but even if it is, behavioral psychology has its own philosophical problems, and the main problem is that it doesn't account for the root of the behavior itself. We're not just blobs of biological stuff responding to external stimuli. We have the capacity to become more self-aware, more conscious in the way that we carry ourselves as individuals, more conscious about the ways that we are different from other people of our gender, of our community, of our culture. Okay. And these are the kinds of things that the more psychoanalytical approach does talk about. But there are even problems in psychoanalysis and psychology. And for me, what we're coming up against in the philosophical shortcomings of red pill philosophy, of behavioral psychology, even psychoanalysis in psychology, is that we're not gaining through any of those means a well-rounded understanding of each and every individual. The DSM, for example, comes up with standard approaches to diagnosing certain conditions and prescribing certain forms of treatment that are meant to fit everyone into one tent, fit everyone under one umbrella. And I ran to the problem when I was studying Myers-Briggs personality types, where I found that once I took a genuine look, an authentic, honest, observational look at human nature, that within those 16 types, there's still more variability within each type than there are differences among the types. So yeah, you might, to a certain degree of expression and perception, and in your styles of making judgments about different aspects of reality, fit into one of those 16 categories, but there is still infinitely more to your personality than that. And so I mastered a couple of other personality systems, such as Big Five theory and Enneagram and HBDI, which is used in business, Herman Brain Dominance Indicator. They all have their uses, but they are pragmatic systems. None of them, including the red pill, really get at the meat of the nature of this individual's character and personality. Right. And oddly enough, that's what astrology does better than anything. Just because I learned everything about all those other systems, including the red pill stuff, doesn't mean I know everything about men, about women, about this personality type, that personality type. All right. Every person is infinitely simple and infinitely complex. So yes, we fit into the general broad categories of male and female. And that on the biological, evolutionary, primal level is what the red pill does very, very well. Okay. It does talk about those very large categories of male, female, and it gives you the behavioral characteristics of them and some of the mentality that's involved in that, but it by no means gets to the level of compatibility between two individuals who are separate and unique beings. What attracts those people to each other? It's not a simple black and white checklist of things that men should look for in a woman, women should look for in a man. Okay, that's not enough for compatibility. When you lay two astrology charts on top of each other, you're getting not only the infinite complexity of one person's personality lining up with the others, but you see how the charts affect each other. And me, as a professional astrologer in both compatibility and relationships, as well as in birth chart astrology, just teaching people about their own chart, I can tell you that every major problem that every minor problem too that a relationship has may or may not have an element of male versus female red pill issues founding it. But more fundamentally, there is always a ton of nuance that can be accounted for by the individual's personalities, which is reflected by their astrological birth charts. Okay. So what I'm saying here in this video is that the red pill leaves out a lot. All right. It leaves out all of the nuances of an individual's personality. And that is what I focus on. All right. I'm not like one to speak in public about the red pill because that's not really my area of interest, although I do agree with all of their higher level claims about how men are and how women are. It's true. Right. But there is so much more to human nature than that. We are very complex, very nuanced beings with unique personalities, and it's important to account for that too. So when it comes to counseling for men, for women, for in psychiatry, even generally speaking, I don't trust someone unless I'm going to take from different schools of thought for different reasons in order to construct well-rounded, true, sort of perspective that that gives me everything that I need from different people who specialize in different areas. I like to be well-rounded in my own research, and for me personally, I offer the astrological counseling that gives you the deep and nuanced information that you need to know yourself, like how it is that you in particular are different from other men, or you as a woman are different from other women, regardless of, that's despite the differences between men and women and the similarities among women and among men that the red pill does accurately describe. Just saying that there's a lot more to compatibility, and compatibility comes down to personality traits, not so much the general things that we all deeply know about how men are and how women are, although those things are important too. And unfortunately, it's lost knowledge that's just now resurfacing in our culture. And to speak honestly about those very general things that for thousands and thousands of years of human evolution, no one ever questioned, is worthy of being canceled somehow, right? And that's just ridiculous. So anyway, I think you need both. You need knowledge of both red pill, knowledge about how men are, how women are, but you also need the nuance of your own self-awareness as a unique being that has, a certain set of innate proclivities and predispositions for seeing the world in a certain way, responding to it in a certain way, and taking action on that basis. So that's what I do. And yeah, the more you can learn about yourself on every level, the better. That's, knowledge is power of the self, and it helps you really become your own mental point of origin, as the red pill guys like to say. For me, I like to say you have to be your own authority. You have to be your own point of authority. If you outsource your authority to other people, you're committing the appeal to authority fallacy, which is a big no-no in my field of philosophy. And if you outsource your authority to a belief structure, a religion, then you're simply, committing to the structure and beliefs of a group, and you're liable to simply follow that crowd, even if it is a very intimate community that claims to have your best interest in mind. Only you can truly have your best interest in mind all the time. And that is cultivated through exposing yourself to things, and exercising your anti-fragile nature. The fact that we become stronger the more we expose ourselves to, and the more we learn to cope with. But again, there's a fine line between coping and avoiding, and that's another topic. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that, some of the shortcomings of the red pill. But I mean, why it's true, but it has to be complemented with more nuanced knowledge of you as an individual. How is it that you are unique, despite how you are as a man or as a woman? And that's what my field of astrology shows. So it's just kind of funny that the astrology guys don't really like the red pill guys for the most part. And the red pill guys definitely don't, well, they don't know anything about astrology. So they don't claim to like it, or think that it has any value. But in fact, these two things are extremely compatible and both necessary when it comes to the self-awareness process. So that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Cheers.